Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. You know that the symbol in Yiddishkeit, when you want to express yourself as something negative, something non-tar, not clean, impure, we always say the chazer, the pig, pork. That's like the extreme tummy. And the question is, why? Why was he zoicha? Why was the pig, the pork, zoicha to have that title? And what does the Torah B'chlal tell us about the chazer? We know there are many halachas that are connected to the chazer. For example, things that are not so known. A chazer, because it's so lays in mud and lives in mud, it has a reach, a scent of mud and schmutz. The halacha is just like you're not allowed to daven near schmutz. If there's a chazer, a pig running around, you're not allowed to daven because, by definition, they say the status of every chazer is like schmutz. Since you're not allowed to daven within the Daled Amos of schmutz, wherever there might be a davar acher, a chazer, you're not allowed to walk there. You're not allowed to daven there. Many people, and that's why I'm going to get to this soon. I just had to start off saying the halacha in the words of Chazer, but many people don't even refer to, it's such a disgusting creature in halacha, in Yiddishkeit, the Tmeya, that they don't even mention the name Chazer. You call it davar acher. You call it something else. You don't want to say the name. And it's similar to Rahman al-Islam, the terrible sickness that today people, not Rahman al-Islam, have, that you don't even call that sickness by the name, you say Yena Machla. So some say this chazer is such a symbol of tumah, you don't want to even mention the name. And the Gemara in Pesachim has a story of a student who, two students were studying, and they were really engrossed in a sugya of the Gemara. And after the sweat and learning a long time, the teacher sitting nearby heard two students expressing their hard labor, their hard work. And one of them says, "Wow, I'm wiped out like a tired chazer, like a tired pig." And the other one says, I'm so tired, I'm tired like a tired goat. So the teacher sitting by says, I can guarantee you, the one who expressed himself by saying that I'm tired like a tired chazer, nothing good's going to come out of him. Because somebody who uses that as a symbol of how to express himself, somehow the chazer became the symbol of terrible tumah. The Gemara says in Masechta Yuma, Rashi brings it in Chumash, that one of the things that the Goyim say about Yidden is, they're so different than us that we eat chazer, we eat pork, and they won't even eat pork. That's the way, that's one of the ideal things that separate, it's noticeable to a guy that separates lahavdil a guy from a Yid. So what else do we find about this davar acher? So in Teva, in nature, and then we'll get to the halacha part, in nature we find a couple interesting things about the davar acher. The Medrash Lekach Toiv says that a davar acher, a chazer, does not have a neck. It can't turn, it can't see to the sideways. For it to see what's behind it, it has to completely turn around. And for the same reason, it's also brought that a chazer, being that he doesn't have a neck, it can't look upwards. It's not able to look to Shemayim, which is also symbolizing something negative. A chazer, it's brought in Svarim, that the Gemara, based on the Gemara says that Asara Kavim Negoim, Saras, came down in this world, and 9 of them were the chazerim, the pork, the pigs, got the biggest amount of tsaras. So that's also something negative. I mentioned before that you don't call him by its name, you somehow call it davar acher. What is the reason why we don't mention it? So, as mentioned before, the comparison to the sickness, that people don't want to say this terrible disease, we also find that there's a minig by some that lahavdil, that when it comes Pesach time, because at those 7 days, chametz is such a bad thing, there are people that refrain from using the word chametz during Pesach. So if this is a symbol of such a bad tumah, you stay away from it. and you don't even mention that name. You call it davar acher. Well, others question this reason because if so, what's it any different than any other non-kosher food? So there's another answer, and this is a very famous answer. Davar acher means something else. This chazer, this pig, he portrays himself to you as if he's different than what he really is. Rashi brings what Chazal say, that a chazer shows you his legs, and the legs, the hooves are split, and like this he's saying, look, I'm a kosher one. But we know that he's not kosher because he's not Maligera. So he's giving you, it's not what you see, what you got. It is davar acher. He's two-faced. He is something else. Another reason, which is interesting, which is halachically a problem, and that is, some say, it's based on a Rabbeinu Bechaya, based on a medrash, that a chazer, the word chazer means to return. Because la'asad lavoi, when Mashiach comes, a chazer will actually be kosher. You heard that? Chazer means to return, and la'asad lavoi, Rabbeinu Bechaya says it will be kosher, based on the medrash. So many mefarshim attack this. How could chazer be kosher? The Torah has the same halachas now as the Torah won't change when Mashiach comes. So there are different explanations. One of the explanations that even the Chassam Sofer says that the chazer now is taka, is mafris parsa, but not maligera. Not that the halacha will change. The teva of the chazer will be different, that it will even be maligera then, and that type of chazer is taka mutter. Now why will it become kosher? What's the significance about that? That we have a lot of svarim in Kabbalah and Chassidus that try to explain the difference between the two. It's interesting that the Medrash says like this: Hashem matir hasurim. Hashem is referred to the one who is matir, unties the people who are bound, people who are tied. Matir hasurim also means frees, undoes what's prohibited, makes it mutter. So the Medrash says, Yesh Oimrim, Kol HaBehema Shenitma Ba'elam Hazeh, that any behema which today's days is not kosher, but eventually the Eibishter will make them all matir asurim. He'll undo what was tied in Olam Hazeh, and he'll free them up that you should be able to eat them too. There's another din based on the story in the Gemara that a person is not allowed to raise chazerim. You're not allowed to do that as a job, to raise chazerim. Now the question is, what's significant about that? This is based on the story that when the Yidden were right before the Churban, and they were in the siege around Yerushalayim, and the chazer scratched on the wall. So right then and there, Chazal say, Ara Megadol Chazerim. The Rambam, however, when he quotes this halacha, gives a reason. And many poskim question this reason. He says a person should not raise chazerim because chazerim cause a lot of damage. And you're not allowed to have things that cause damage. But others have other reasons. The bottom line is that this is an animal which symbolizes tumah, and a yid stays away from these inyanim.